Once every whisper in the Middle East echoed through Washington. From Riyadh to Tehran, Baghdad to Cairo, the United States held the strings of empires. Oil, weapons, and alliances were the tools of a global puppeteer. But today, the balance has shifted. Russia bombs Syria with impunity. China signs oil deals that sideline the dollar. Iran-backed militias strike at will, and honestly, US allies now turn eastward. This is not just a story of war and diplomacy, it's the slow collapse of American dominance in the Middle East, and the rise of a new, multipolar reality that may define the rest of the 21st century. The United States' entry into the Middle East wasn't about freedom, it was about fuel. In the 1940s, as oil became the bloodline of modern industry, US leaders understood one thing clearly: control oil, and you control the future. 1945. President Roosevelt meets King Abdulaziz of Saudi Arabia aboard the USS Quincy. A deal is struck: US protection for Saudi oil. This was the birth of the petrodollar system. Oil would be traded in US dollars, securing American economic power globally. Today, over 60% of global oil is still traded in US dollars, but that dominance is shrinking fast, with recent China GCC yuan-based deals. The US also backs coups like in Iran, 1953, Operation Ajax, replacing elected leaders with pro-Western monarchs and military rulers. By the 1980s, the US had influence over Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, and even parts of Iran's former Shah regime. The Middle East became the centerpiece of American empire, not through colonization, but by controlling the flow of energy and arms. Then came 9/11, and with it, the unraveling of America's carefully constructed illusion of control. 2001 US invades Afghanistan to destroy Al-Qaeda. 2003 US invades Iraq to eliminate weapons of mass destruction, which, well, never existed. The Iraq War cost over $2.4 trillion and led to the deaths of over 200,000 civilians. The invasion dismantled Saddam Hussein's regime but created a power vacuum. Iran filled that vacuum, extending its influence from Tehran to Beirut through Shia militias like Hezbollah, the Houthis, and Iraqi PMF units. Instead of weakening its enemies, America empowered them. Instead of democracy, it bred chaos. ISIS rose from that vacuum, redrawing borders the US once claimed to protect. In geopolitics, nothing is more dangerous than a reputation for unreliability. And America earned it. Kurds betrayed. After fighting ISIS alongside US forces, Trump withdrew troops and allowed Turkey to attack them. Afghanistan withdrawal, 2021. Images of people clinging to US planes in Kabul became a symbol of humiliation. Syria, policy. Chaotic, unclear, and seen as abandonment. America once promised stability. Now it delivers confusion. The result? Turkey grew closer to Russia, purchasing S-400s. Saudi Arabia, once America's closest Arab ally, publicly embarrassed Biden and hosted Xi Jinping instead. The UAE signs trade and military pacts with Russia, China, and India. In 2023, China brokered peace between Saudi Arabia and Iran, a diplomatic feat the US never achieved in decades. While the United States focused on war, others played the long game. China, the silent kingmaker, invested over $300 billion in Middle East infrastructure under the Belt and Road Initiative. They signed long-term energy agreements with Iran and the Gulf Cooperation Council. And, they offered non-interference, no lectures on human rights, just business. In the Middle East, where pride and sovereignty really matter, China offered what America never could: respect without conditions. Russia, on the other hand, became the disruptor. They secured permanent naval bases in Syria and intervened militarily to save Assad, filling the vacuum left by American indecision. Russia also supplies arms to Iran, Egypt, and even some Gulf states. The Cold War is over, but the competition never stopped. It just changed flags. Nowhere is the decline of US power clearer than in the conflict between Iran and Israel. Israel conducts targeted assassinations of Iranian nuclear scientists. Iran retaliates with proxy strikes in Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon. The US occasionally steps in, but more often seems unsure. In a recent escalation, the 2025 airstrikes on Fordow by US stealth bombers ignited protests across the Muslim world. Iran retaliated with drone strikes on Israel and bases in Iraq. China and Russia condemned US aggression. Even Europe distanced itself. America tried to remind the world of its strength. Instead, it exposed its isolation. As Henry Kissinger once said, to be an enemy of America can be dangerous, but to be a friend is fatal. Power isn't just measured in missiles, it's measured in trust, trade, and narratives. Social media shifts opinion faster than any drone strike. US support for Israel's military actions alienates Arab youth. American values are seen as hypocritical, preaches democracy, props up dictators. According to Pew data from 2024, favorability of the US in Arab nations is under 30%, the lowest in 30 years. Trust in China now surpasses the US and Gulf countries among those under 35. Washington talks about freedom, but Beijing delivers infrastructure, and Moscow delivers resolve. Is it too late for America to reclaim influence? Not entirely. What America can still offer: leadership on clean energy transition in oil-rich states, mediation in Israel-Palestine, if it dares to be neutral, and cultural influence and soft power, still unmatched in entertainment and education. But it must end the policy of endless war, rebuild credibility with consistency, and compete with China not by bullying allies, but by earning trust. The Middle East was once a stage for America's grand ambitions, but ambition without humility breeds collapse, and power without vision invites replacement. Today, America still casts a long shadow, but others now control the spotlight. The superpower has not disappeared, but in the Middle East, it has been dethroned. Like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more deep global breakdowns every week. This is Talk Maniac.